Thursday, February 7th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East here with you. It's pretty chilly out there as we're starting today. A lot of us in the 30s, some mountain spots in the 20s, the coast in the 40s, and a few low 50s there around the Outer Banks. Just kind of a chilly February morning. But let's go to the radar. At the moment, during the 5 a.m. hour when I'm cutting this video, the Carolinas essentially dry, but you look off to the west, here comes the rain. Pretty good shield of rain through much of Alabama, spreading into North Georgia and parts of Tennessee, and then the rain gets increasingly heavy as you head down toward the Gulf of Mexico. Some heavy rain this morning in southern parts of Mississippi, Alabama, down into Louisiana, and portions of the Florida Panhandle region. And that is all gradually lifting up to the northeast with that developing area of low pressure that'll continue to move further to the east with time today. So this is what it looks like as we start the afternoon. You can see that low pressure lifting into the Florida Panhandle region. And as we get on into tonight, the low will actually lift up through the eastern Carolinas. And that's going to bring a pretty good soaking rain to much of the area. The heaviest rain totals being the further east you go. And then that storm system pulls away and heads into the northeast. More on that coming up in just a moment. This is what the Stormcast modeling is printing out for rain totals with this system, though pretty generous amounts. I have a hunch some of these totals are overdone, but again, for a lot of folks, it does look like a pretty good soaking. The lightest amounts with this system in terms of rain probably in the mountains and the foothills, and the totals ramp up as you go east from there. Boy, this is going to be a big winter storm for the northeast, though. Look at tomorrow afternoon. Here goes the low lifting up off the northeast coast, and it just really bombs out as some phasing occurs. I'll show you that here in the upper level charts in just a second. Look at that snow that just cranks tomorrow into portions of the weekend. And look at some of these snow totals. There's the European snow amounts, and you're looking at that heaviest contour there. See if I can show you right there in parts of Massachusetts and other sections there, and southern sections of New Hampshire. Those are totals over 2 feet of snow being indicated on the European model. And let me show you the NAM here. This is even more extreme, and boy, I mean, it goes nuts. You're looking at over 3 and 4 feet of snow on some spots here on the NAM modeling. That's probably overdone, of course, but just a sure sign that this is a big-time winter storm. You have blizzard watches up for parts of Massachusetts into Connecticut, Rhode Island. Winter storm watches covering a lot of real estate, so winter storm warnings already up in western parts of New York. This is going to be a big-time winter storm. Let's look at the upper levels, and it's sort of neat to watch this unfold if you enjoy meteorology. Look at the players on the field. This is this afternoon. Northern branch energy, southern branch pieces of energy right there. And watch how this unfolds. We go out to tomorrow. And boy, we are right on the cusp of seeing that phase occur. There's one piece of energy. Here's another one. And they're just going to phase in textbook fashion in the ensuing 24 hours. Look at that. There you go. Saturday morning, big time powerhouse low pressure then centered off the coast of the northeast. And so at the surface, you end up with a scenario that looks like this. Here we are with the rain spreading into our region that I've already showed you. There's that low pressure kind of broad this evening off the Georgia and South Carolina coast. But watch this low as we step through in 6-hour increments here. This is as we head into the early morning hours tomorrow, the low getting stronger, really beginning to tighten up near the Outer Banks around daybreak tomorrow. And then here we go. The system just explodes off the coast of the northeast. This is tomorrow evening, 6 hours later. Look at it just, again, this is the European model, just drilling parts of the northeast. 6 hours later, there it goes, and that is just blizzard conditions there over parts of those of the northeast where I just mentioned, in those blizzard watch areas. Big time disruptive snow event is on the way. If you have travel plans to many sections of the northeast, there's going to be huge difficulties for you as we head over the next few days. Now, as we get on into next week, here we are back to the European upper level chart. You have one piece of upper level energy over parts of the Great Lakes, a trailing piece of energy back toward the desert southwest that the European eventually drags through here by Wednesday night and Thursday of next week. So on the European, you wind up with a scenario that looks something like this. You have a cold front that swings in On Monday, there you go. This is Monday morning. Surface low in the Great Lakes, big cold front trailing down from that. So we get some rain that moves in Monday, and then that front sort of stalls out by Tuesday, probably from southeasternmost North Carolina, trailing from there down to Louisiana and coastal Texas. And then you have waves of energy riding along that. Now, the scenario unfolds a little bit differently here on the Canadian. I know these charts can be sort of tough to see, but I'm going to see if I can show you. This is out at 156 hours on the Canadian, and this is out at Wednesday morning, and you have more of a bundled piece of energy in the upper levels here on the Canadian, and that results in a decent surface low developing. And if you look at the precipitation fields, the solid black line you see there, that is the freezing line up at 5,000 feet. So that's at 850 millibars. And let me go out 12 hours later. And then the Canadian, that's a nice little winter weather event for parts of the Carolinas. And that is one of the solutions that's actually on the table. If that little trailing piece of energy becomes more bundled and it can help to draw in some colder air from the north, then that is a solution that is on the table for Wednesday or Thursday of next week, especially Wednesday. The solution is different on the GFS, and it's a different solution on the European. There's just a lot of moving pieces, and we're not going to be able to get a real good handle on how that system, the middle part of next week, is going to unfold for probably a few days now. There's just a lot of energy moving around in the atmosphere here, a lot of moving pieces, and of course you have the blizzard to get through in parts of the Northeast first. In the longer range, let me show you this. This is the 8 to 10 day mean, European on the left, GFS on the right. And I tell you, I mean, the look on the GFS is a pretty good look, and it's not overly horrible on the European. But let me just take you out through some of the later panels of the GFS model just to show you what it's printing out. And of course, you take specifics of this range with mounds of salt, but this is out at the 19th of the month. You have one system moving through. A little bit later, here we go, the 20th and 21st, another system moving through, and then another one coming down the chute here, right at the tail end of the run. So, you know, the GFS is on board with a scenario of cooler temperatures at least, and winter weather chances for at least parts of the upper southeast and maybe the Tennessee Valley at times later this month. And we will just have to see. There's some conflicting indications on the various models as to exactly how the later stages, say the mid and late portions of February, will unfold. We'll see. We'll kind of see how this unfolds as we go forward in time. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.